Hello, today I want to introduce you to the Turing platform. Turing is a platform for customer experience and enhancing company efficiency by analyzing client communications. What does Turing do? Turing collects recordings of all conversations. This can include chats, calls, meetings, and emails between clients and company representatives. After this, it performs a lot of diverse analytics that can be extracted from the platform. Let's go to the platform and see what it looks like. This first dashboard is visible to everyone who logs into the system and has the rights to view the overall analytics for the contact center. Here we see calls, emails, chats, web forms, both inbound and outbound. If no specific team is selected, this will show statistics for the entire contact center. If you select a specific team, the figures will be recalculated based on that team. The same applies to the period for which you want to view the information. The average number of conversations per day. Here we see one because this is a demo version. The data is artificial, so the numbers might look strange. The average number of conversations per agent. Manual evaluation based on scorecards. That is to say, if a company currently employs a manual evaluation process based on scorecards, this entire procedure can now be executed within Turing significantly faster and with greater efficiency than previously possible. Automatic evaluation, where an artificial intelligence assesses the work of an agent using a scorecard that has been developed for the purpose of automatic assessment. The number of conversations evaluated manually, the number of conversations evaluated automatically, the distribution of average conversation duration, and then overall metrics for each individual agent. Agents can have names or codes depending on the company's specific policy regarding whether they disclose agent names and their performance statistics or not. The total number of conversations handled by each agent, which can be sorted either by those making the fewest calls to those making the most, or the other way around. Also, the count of meaningful conversations. Meaningful conversations are distinguished from the overall total number of calls by the presence of actual dialogue within them. Among the total number of calls, you might encounter answering machine recordings, disconnected conversations, and so on. Meaningful conversations are those where a logical dialogue takes place. This could be a very brief call that involves a transfer, but it is still considered substantive and conclusive. The average call duration for each agent serves as their performance indicator over a specific period. First, there's the manual evaluation, which is how this specific agent's work was assessed. Then we have the automatic evaluation, meaning the system itself performs the assessment. Ideally, all employees should be evaluated by both of these scorecards, providing them with two distinct performance figures. The ratio, how much the agent spoke, and how much the client spoke during the call. Silence in the conversation, that's actual silence, not just periods of hold. For instance, if a contact center agent decides they don't want to place a client on hold, they might say, "Please wait a moment," then mute their microphone. This creates a pause that the contact center platform won't register, because the hold button wasn't pressed. Turing detects the specific instance and records it as silence. Agent interruption. This measures how often the agent interrupts the client. If the presence is more than 2.5%, then typically it's already quite noticeable in the conversation, and that can really irritate the other person. But you can see that from 1.2 to 1.4, it's already marked in red here. So why is it red if this particular number doesn't yet indicate that there's active interruption happening? Because the system calculates all of its indicators by the median. If someone deviates from the contact center's median, meaning they perform either better or worse than the average, then those who are performing better than average are highlighted in green, and those who are performing worse than average are highlighted in red. This does not necessarily mean that it is a bad thing. It simply indicates that you have individuals who are operating at varying levels of efficiency. Agent performance is already detailed by scorecards, which you can customize quite extensively depending on the company's processes. Scorecards can be team-specific, process-specific, or even call topic-specific. They can be manually evaluated or automatically evaluated. And the metrics. So your scorecards will be shown here, specifically the ones you use in your company. A combined indicator, and then it's broken down by blocks. This is the opening stage, resolution, call atmosphere, empathy and tone, and call closing. You have your own blocks, so your metrics will be specific to you. If we take a closer look inside, we can see it broken down by points, not just in general greeting blocks. There's already a welcome and company introduction, which serves as the beginning of the call. By clicking on these members, you can navigate to the calls of a specific agent, either where they performed everything correctly or where they made a mistake. This is general statistical data that can be utilized daily to gain a fundamental understanding of what is happening within the contact center. However, Ender Turing offers significantly more than just these statistics. Ender Turing captures all conversations. It includes voice recordings, and from these voice recordings, it transcribes the entire conversation into a complete dialogue. From this complete dialogue, you can obtain a great deal of analytics. If you navigate to the conversations block, you will then see every single conversation. In the contact center, you have the ability to filter them. There's a huge variety of filters. We won't be going through every single one of these filters right now. You simply need to be aware that they are all present here. And in the onboarding process, you will learn how to effectively use all the available filters and understand their specific purpose. To familiarize yourself with this interface, what would I like to draw your attention to? Firstly, you have the ability to filter by dates, by teams, by people, and to view conversations within a dialogue. When there's a dialogue, a lot of different things can be flagged or tagged within the platform. This means, for instance, if you have specific keywords, perhaps trigger words, product names, or even services, all of this information can be passed into the platform. It will then display these items to you, and you can later filter your results based on these flags, alongside the ongoing conversation or dialogue, you have the option to leave comments and tag your colleagues. This means that if you need to forward a particular conversation for analysis, or to bring it to the attention of a specific colleague, you can simply select that colleague using the @ symbol. This action will then send a notification to that person, informing them that they should review the conversation. Similarly, alongside the conversation, there can also be comments and what is the summary? This is a brief overview of a conversation in which you can get acquainted with what transpired during the discussion, what the client's request was, and what the agent's response entailed. The summary is not limited to just a brief description of the conversation. Pause. In the future, you will become familiar with what structured summaries are, and you will be able to ask the system many different questions, pause, to which it will provide answers right alongside the discussion. Similarly, you can go to evaluate this conversation and see how Ender Turing assessed the discussion using a specific scorecard. Was there a greeting? Was the company introduced? Did the employee provide a solution to the client's problem? And how exactly was it provided? If there was an error, the system will write a comment about it. Alright then, we'll continue by explaining the next steps. Beyond just having a comprehensive overview dashboard, you also have access to all the conversations, and there's a dedicated analytics section available. In the analytics module, you can easily build various types of dashboards, where you will be able to clearly display all the specific data that you truly need. For example, you can see exactly how many meaningful conversations your company has had, and precisely how much money it has invested into those valuable discussions. This means that, if we know and accurately record within the platform the specific rate of an individual specialist, we can subsequently determine the total expenditure incurred for the services rendered by this particular expert. Analytics can be quite diverse. You can build dashboards daily, not just by individual agents, but also across various departments, and even select specific teams. For example, these are calls that contain complaints. Yes, you can see precisely where those complaints originated, and then convert their processing into a quantifiable monetary value. You will be going through a significant amount of various analytics and settings alongside through training, during the learning process, with our experienced specialists. The platform also features a dedicated learning module the settings section where you can create various automations and so forth. For your general information, first, you'll have access to general analytics, and you'll also use advanced analytics where you can create your own dashboards. You can create sales funnels, see various types of reports, such as the rating of evaluators or reviewers within the company. You can utilize search and analysis for general conversations and dialogues, along with highly advanced filtering capabilities. You will cover all of this during your training and onboarding process. Agents are able to complete their training directly on the platform itself. So, what truly sets Ender Turing apart from other platforms? This is how agents in Ender Turing also gain access to their own dashboards. If we go to an agent's dashboard, this is what they see when logging into the platform. The Ender Turing platform has an advanced permission system. Different roles have different access levels. Agents only see their own dashboard, their own evaluated calls, general conversations, and training tasks. So, a person can log in and view their number of calls over a specific period, their manual, automatic, weighted average, and simple average scores. Also, call duration and scores for different scorecard blocks. If a person goes to rated calls, then for a certain period, which we don't see in the demo now, there will be a list of calls where a person can also see their own score. The training tasks will specify what exactly a person needs to learn or review, and which quizzes to complete, which questions to answer. The agent sees all this and can work with their assessments and comments on them. All other general settings and specific details you'll learn during the training process. Thank you for watching this short demo, for getting acquainted with the platform, and we'll see you at onboarding.